association. Yeah, see, that's the association. Joe.
Welcome to YMA Nation Podcast, episode number 4. Sports.
Football Friday.
Football Friday. We talking about sports. Welcome to YMA Nation Podcast, episode number 4, Football Friday. Today is Football Friday, and I am excited because we have a lot to talk about.
We do. We have a recap, and then we have to think about what's going on.
Yeah, we're going to recap, all right. If you guys missed the last Football Friday, that was episode number 1. Go back to episode number 1. Yeah, watch it and see the predictions that we talked about the Clemson versus
Notre Dame
and Miami versus
NC State.
Look at the predictions on that. All right, I am Joe Wallace, and this is
Rebecca Wallace.
Oh man, you paused it. You had to think on that one.
No, I was. Your hands are doing all kind of stuff. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm just trying to figure it out.
Okay, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Make sure you subscribe. Take 5 seconds right now and just pause. And right there in the lower corner, click the subscribe.
Do what he says.
Do it. Do it. Thank you, guys. Thank you. So we have so much to talk about today. Where do you want to start? Do you want to start on the recap of the Clemson game or the Miami Hurricanes?
You can start with Miami. Go ahead, because I know you want to. I know you want to. They won. But we both predicted that we're going to win.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we both predicted that Clemson was going to win.
Yeah. So
that was a hard one. Don't breathe hard. Please don't breathe hard.
Hey, I think my projection on the Miami game was a little bit closer than yours.
But as a true Miami fan,
back and forth.
As a true Miami fan, though, Miami pulled off the win.
Hey, my Clemson Notre Dame prediction was pretty close.
But you predicted that Clemson was
going to win 42-35.
But you predicted that Clemson was going to win.
The score was close, is what I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah.
But you predicted that Clemson was going to win. I thought Clemson was going to win, too. I was actually surprised, to be honest. I thought Clemson was going to win.
You know, it's okay.
Let's talk
Notre
about
Dame beat our second string defense, third string. It's okay.
Let's talk about it. We'll
see them in the ACC championship.
Let's start off with Clemson. So, what do you feel? How do you feel about the game?
I'm okay. I'm all right. I think that most Clemson fans are okay.
Pause, please.
What?
Let me just interrupt you real quick. I have to interject. She said, "I'm okay." I'm like it actually hurt her.
I'm all right.
Like I'm okay. I'm okay. You know they lost, but I'm okay.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah.
So you're okay now.
Yeah.
How did you feel
that day?
I was
not happy. I was not happy. But I also understand the game of football. So I know that when you're down 5 starters on your defense, even if you played the next man up mentality, you have leaders there that motivate and get the team, amped up and things like that. And so when you're just down and injuries are plaguing a defense like that, our offense did great. Now, our offensive line was a bit shaky when it came to the running game, but all in all, I felt good about the offense. DJ played outstanding. He broke one of Watson's records. So the offense is great. He's got a very bright future when Trevor leaves this year, if he leaves this year.
Okay.
But I think when you have key players out on defense, then it does make it more difficult to combat injury. And so they have a bye this week. They really need to focus on getting their key defenders healthy, getting them back on the field, and just bouncing back. I mean, their schedule from here on out, they don't have any other really tough games to play. So
Florida
it's all
State.
about, oh my God. It's all about getting
that's who you guys play off the bye, right?
Yeah, after the bye.
But you were saying it's all about the defense.
Getting the defense healthy, getting your key players back out there, and then seeing Notre Dame in the ACC championship game and showing them what Clemson's really made of.
You know
because I think it's going to be a completely different game in the championship. Completely different.
How do you know that they're going to play them in a championship?
Because I watch football. Who else is going to go to the championship game?
So who are you predicting to be
Notre Dame and Clemson will face each other again in the ACC championship game.
Okay.
Clemson will win.
Okay.
They'll go probably as either a 3 or a 4 seed into the college football playoff. And we'll see what happens.
Notre Dame fans are probably like logging off our podcast right now because they are loyal. They stormed the field while there's like a COVID act in place. They didn't care. They stormed the field.
But they also have to recognize reality. And the reality is if you're down 5 defensive players, then, you know.
And you're saying that in the championship they won't be down 5 players.
Right. That should give our guys enough time to get healthy.
How about Trevor Lawrence?
I think he should have enough time to have all his tests back by that time. I mean, that he should be ready by FSU.
I think he's predicted to play.
Yeah.
Next week against
Florida
State. Yeah.
So I think he'll be fine. And again, like I said, I wasn't even concerned with the offense. Now, what I am concerned is that they are holding back because DJ is quarterbacking, and they have to do more RPOs. They have to, because that opens up the running game, and it's going to open up the passing game more.
Okay. What was interesting in the fourth quarter, I think Clemson had 2 players get hurt. I was like, man, like in the fourth quarter, you guys were short on the defense already.
Yeah.
So then having 2 other players get hurt, like in the fourth quarter.
By the way, every time one went down, I was like, oh, my gosh.
I remember. I remember. You take it so serious, like it was me getting hurt.
It was tragic, man. It was tragic.
Man. But it was a good game, though. And you predicted it to be a good game.
NC State was a good game. It was back and forth, back and forth. I love those type of games because the energy in those games, it's like keeps you on the edge of your seat.
No, it's your energy throughout the game, like screaming at the TV, going up to the TV, like the player. I don't know if you think that from the couch to the TV, if you get closer, that they're going to hear you.
Hey, y'all comment on how many people talk to the coaches and the players during the game because you're coaching. You're on the sideline. It's in the atmosphere. It's real.
Okay.
It's real. It's like.
You know what? So I was quiet the first half of the Miami game.
Uh-huh.
And then third quarter, I was like, come on, Miami. Like, when the third quarter first started and the mistakes on the defense, I was like, man, it's like they was playing a high school team. And I don't know what happened, but midway through that third quarter, it must have been some tough conversations on the sideline. But Miami defense, like, it was like a total 360.
Mm-hmm. See, what happens is you came and you started watching the game in the third quarter, and then that energy that you were projecting into the atmosphere, and you was like, why are we playing this horrible? What are we doing? You see, it worked. It turned them around just a little bit more energy.
Miami did great. I could tell you that. And their quarterback was phenomenal. That King is going to have, I was reading throughout the week some of the posts about him, and it was like, he still have a lot of development.
Learning, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I agree. He does, but as a young quarterback on his level, the way he performed, it was phenomenal.
I started off checking it every other week, just like most people do. Then it got out of control. I couldn't help myself. I started checking it day after day after day. I didn't realize that I was becoming addicted until my wife said something.
What did she say?
She said, it's just a credit score, relax.
Are you checking your credit score?
Huh? Hold on.
Yeah.
Like, I was amazed, especially in the fourth quarter, the way he stepped it up, and even his stats show that. So even his passing 31 for 41, like 31, he
I think
connected with the receiver
defense
31
needs
times
to
out of 41
meet
times.
the
We're going to talk
level,
about that.
Yeah, of
But
the offense.
But we're talking about my quarterback right now.
Your quarterback got it.
So De'Aaron
Check.
King did a great job. 31 out of 41 pass attempts. And that was for 5 touchdowns too. That's the quarterback for 5 touchdowns. Phenomenal job. And he was just confident throughout. Like, he came out there in the fourth quarter, and they after the game ended, the interview, they asked him about, like, did you ever doubt? He was like, no, I knew that as a team we was going to perform, and I knew that I was going to, like, go into overdrive. He did a great job. And even as a quarterback, he rushed for 105 yards. For 105 yards as a quarterback, how many times 15 times for 105 yards. That's an average of 7 yards per carry for a quarterback. Like, there's running backs that don't do that. And we're going to talk about Harris, because that's actually, he averaged like 4.1 yards a carry, right? So that's one thing on their offense, because their wide receivers, man, like from here to here, if you just see like the Hurricanes over the last 12 months from last season till now, like their team has like just, it's been night and day.
But I told you that. You have to have the right coach in place that motivates the team to get better. And the last couple of Miami hires, I told you when they hired the coaches that they weren't the right fit. They weren't motivating the team. The team wasn't behind the coach. And now they have more of like a gritty Miami style person.
Type of style.
Right. And so they're behind that because he has that mentality. He has that Miami mentality. He does.
Not on the sideline. I was just saying that in the game when the defense was like screwing up.
During recruiting, he went into what? The FSU? Was it the FSU?
No, but that's different. I'm just saying like during the game.
But that's still the attitude.
No, I get that.
I
get that. See, you talking about something different. I think you're talking about that because Clemson lost. We're focused on Miami right now and their win. So Miami won, right? I mean, I wanted Clemson to win too, but right now we're talking about my home team, Miami Hurricanes.
Thank goodness.
Yes, and well, thank goodness that they won.
That we're talking about them right now.
They're number 9 right now, so they moved up from number 11 to number 9. I think that's an accomplishment coming from where the Hurricanes were over the last few seasons. I want them to continue
to win because that makes the Clemson win look better.
So if Notre Dame loses one more game, then what happens?
Let's see. Let me look at Notre Dame's schedule real quick.
They have an easy schedule. I looked at it.
Yeah.
Just like Clemson has an easy schedule. Clemson has an easy schedule
I don't
going
think
forward.
either one of those are going to lose any of their games coming up. I mean, like everyone's projecting who's going to the ACC championship already because the schedules are aligned for it to be that way.
I think Miami's going to have a really good team next year too.
They will. They will have a really good team next year.
Like
and I said
number one
building.
type of team, like going against like Clemson and Alabama type of team. So we was talking about how good. Well, no, Harris, the run game has to pick up. The run game for Miami Hurricanes has to pick up. And here's a great thing about Miami: their offensive line. They give King, because a quarterback could be good, but if he's always under pressure, then it takes away from being able to to see the field, to find the receivers.
Right.
But when your offensive line give you that time to sit in the pocket, find a receiver on their routes, and then connect,
Right.
or to find that break where that quarterback could run throughout that hole, you got to have a strong offensive line. I think the offensive line for the Hurricanes did a good job on last Friday. But the run game has to pick up and get better.
I agree.
And the defense has to, they had 2 sacks throughout the whole game. And I didn't really see the momentum shift until like mid-third quarter when they felt that they might lose the game. And that's what I was saying about the coach. Because some of the mistakes I seen, if I was on the sideline, I would have been just screaming. I would have pulled my mask down off my face and threw it on the ground, and my clipboard and my headset would have been that way, and I would have been going crazy. But he's just so calm, collective, and he just watch, give instructions, put a little thing like that and talk, and then you just see people like moving.
Right.
So it works.
Not like Venables. Venables be like,
oh yeah,
he need a get back guy. His get back guy got to come and save
Hold
him
him
from
back.
going, from going
And
on the field.
The last thing I'm gonna talk about is their starting receivers for Miami. They did a good job too. They actually had a total of 405 passing yards. I mean, that's great for a game. 405 passing yards on offense on the pass. So and that was averaging 15 yards. So you take those 4 receivers, that's like 15 yards per pass. Like, that's great. That's almost a touchdown on every pass.
Yeah.
I wish Miami could play Clemson again. I think it would be a great game because throughout the season, I've seen Miami get better and better. So, I mean, it won't happen this season, but next season, hopefully, Clemson be on Miami's schedule.
Probably not.
You don't know?
No.
The following year.
Because they're every
When did they last time they played? In 2018?
yeah, but they did the schedule different this year because of COVID. So they did a different scheduling model this year because I think Miami is like once every 4 years because they rotate out. Because normally you have the Atlantic and the coastal sides of the division, and this year they put everything together and merged the schedule, so it's out of whack this year.
I see the majority of our followers and subscribers are in the upstate of South Carolina, so I know the majority that's watching right now are probably Clemson fans. So put in the comment section, who's your team? I'm interested in seeing how many Clemson fans and how many Hurricane fans, or whoever your team is, put it in the comment section.
Oh, we're going to talk about some other games.
Yeah.
And
the Gamecocks.
Before we get there, though, while you bragging on your quarterback, I'm going to tell you a little piece about old DJ. 439 passing yards, 29 of 44.
How many passing yards?
439.
439?
Yeah.
439 passing yards that didn't win the game. The defense has to step it up. If you're
the defense just got to get better.
I'm not saying anything about I'm not saying the actual quarterback. I'm saying if your quarterback go out there and 439 yards and you don't win a game, unless it's just a high scoring game, but 439 yards and you have to, those type of games have to be won.
Have to be won, yeah.
Those type of games have to be won.
Yeah.
Come on, Clemson. Come on, Clemson. No
it's okay. We got it. Our defense is going to get better. As far as healing, injuries, just rebounding from those. And this is like a get well week. So hopefully, in the upcoming weeks, we have all our key defensive players back and we'll be ready to roll.
What are you predicting for the game next week against Florida State?
We're going to handle Florida State. I'm not worried about that.
I foresee like a 60 to
40.
10.
Yeah.
A 60 to
I was going
to
to say
10.
like a 47, 52, 10 type of game.
Man, Florida
So-
State used to be good. I don't know. Like, Florida State
It
used to be that
goes
team.
to the coaching. They got Jimbo Fisher in there. He went around, messed them up. Like, he had them good when they had, it just left me, but the good quarterback that they had.
Yeah, the
won
good quarterback that they had.
I got it. Whatever.
Are you trying to start or grow your business? Well, welcome to YMA Financial, where we have created the ultimate platform for entrepreneurs and business owners. We specialize in small business startups. Our accredited business consultants will help turn your dream to a reality. We'll help obtain your business documentation, help you establish and build business credit, and whether you're working from home or storefront, we'll help fully launch your business. Check out our website at www.ymafinancial.com or give us a call at 888-531-6611.
Yeah, Winston. And then he left, and then Jimbo went to Texas A&M and is doing whatever he's doing there. They had another coaching hire, then they hired another coach. You have to have stability as a coach. You can't just hire and hire and hire.
I think that's in anything, though.
yeah,
Whether you're a quarterback, you can't just – Miami made that same type of problem. They created that problem last year when, like, they were pulling the quarterbacks in and out, in and out.
Right.
Yeah.
It's fun. What's crazy is my son's team, they're doing that on the varsity right now, where every game they're switching out the quarterbacks during the game, and the quarterback can't get the consistency to get the game in his control.
And
so
it impacts the other players, too.
because they're
trying
frustrated,
to,
right?
they're
adapt.
trying to adjust, too, and
Yeah.
adapt, right.
Yeah. So they have to get a coach that's really going to drive those, FSU alum and their kids back into that university, drive the funds coming into the university, and really ramp it back up.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
And that's the same thing happening to USC right now, too. They have a coach that can't get them to the next level. They have a coach that, they're stagnant. They can win some games that they're not even projected to win, and then they lose the games that they're supposed to win. And, Clemson was there once upon a time. Clemson was at that point where they would lose the games they were supposed to win. Georgia Tech.
When was this?
Before Dabo came on,
How long ago was this?
the early 2000s.
Oh, we talking about a long time ago.
But I'm saying
They was at that point before.
They was at that point.
Every
before.
team has been at
right.
that point.
Every team has been at that point. But the upper people that do the hiring of these coaches have to make a decision that, you know what, we have to bring someone here that's going to change the mentality of the players. And they're going to want to play hard for, and they're going to want to get us to the next level.
So today there was an article, and a player, I don't recall the name, but he said that he would take a bullet for the coach for the Gamecocks for USC. So I don't know if it's the players not having that commitment or dedication to go out and play hard for the coach, because I think they do. I mean, if someone makes a comment like that.
Well, I think because the Fire Muschamp chant went out during the game, so the fans started chanting Fire Muschamp.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure that the players are trying to come to his back somewhat, and say, hey, we got our coach's back. But at some point, you have to see that his coaching methods aren't working.
So what?
Like, whatever you're doing isn't working.
So what do you feel needs to happen? So you're saying it's not the
And
players, it's the coaching?
It may not be the head coach. It may be the coaches that are the offensive coordinators or the defensive coordinators. But you have to figure out what coaching position is causing the problem.
Right.
And you have to fix it.
Well, I would say it's on offense and decent defense. If you're 2-4, that means that you're not stopping the opposite team's offense, and then your offense is not scoring.
Right.
So Both sides of the field.
Both sides of the field.
They play tomorrow against Mississippi. Mississippi. I'm not saying that they're a strong team, but what are you predicting on that game? Do you think they could finally come off with a win and bring that 2-4 to 3-4?
I think it's just going to be interesting because I don't think Mississippi State they're going through a coaching change right now. They just got a new coach. And so I think that it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. But Mississippi State does have run a high spread offense and move the ball. So it depends on how South Carolina's defense plays. If they come out and play hard, they'll stay competitive in the game. And if they don't, then, they can lose the game.
If you was the coach right now for the Gamecocks, what would you change?
I haven't really watched them this year, so I can't say, I would change any particular thing. I would need to really watch them and analyze what they're doing and how they're running their offense, how they're running their defense, and come up with a solution for what their problems are.
We may have to make some
watch that game.
adjustments on your work schedule. I mean, I know you're an entrepreneur and you work your own schedule, but you may need to pull back some and spend some time because she's the football expert, right?
Yeah.
I know it's hard to keep up with every team out there across the whole country, but you need to be that sports person. So when we're on this show, they be like, Rebecca know everything, or at least have the numbers and the data.
I be showing houses and so, but it's just a matter of, I think it comes back to coaching. They're just going to have to get coached up in positions. And a lot of teams, they need a strong quarterback. A strong quarterback. That's
changes everything.
That's the leader of your team. You see, you honed on your Miami quarterback for
King did it. And
that one position has completely changed the whole
momentum of the entire team.
Right. That one position. And not to say it's not a team
effort
game.
Right.
But if the team can rally behind a quarterback that's a true leader and plays hard and leads the team, then that whole mentality shifts.
I agree. And I think from the offensive line is like, this is like my father behind me. I can't let no one get to him.
Right.
What was that movie with the
Blindside?
Blindside?
Yeah.
Blindside. Like, what did she tell him when she ran out on the field? And she was
like, this is SJ, your brother, and this is, and so.
You got to protect them.
You got to protect them, right? And the offensive line is one of the most underrated positions in general, like the whole line.
But they make or break
they make or break because they can make your quarterback
great,
or they can cause them to get sacked, get hurt, and not be able to control the game.
Right. How many great quarterbacks are great and they scrambling 80% of the game? There's not too many great quarterbacks that's great and they spend the majority of their time always scrambling.
Watson?
He didn't spend the majority of his time scrambling.
He is in the NFL right now.
Oh, right now.
He's going to die in the NFL if they don't get him an offensive line.
Yeah, and he's young, too.
And he's young. And, he walked into a really great deal with the team, but he can't enjoy it because he spends the whole time on the field trying not to die. They need to give him some seriously, he could sustain it. And in the NFL, the quarterbacks are way more protected than in the college level. The college level, they let them play a little bit more.
Right.
They get hit a little bit more. In the NFL, they get a little bit more protective of the quarterbacks. But, once you're out that pocket and you're running,
it's a free game.
It's a free game. And he spends his whole time trying to find something.
Trying to find something, right.
I mean, they got rid of the best receiver in like one of the best receivers in the NFL.
All right. Well, guys, thank you for watching us. Football Friday. Make sure that you're following all of our pages, right? Masters Credit Consultants is www.masterscreditconsultants.com. YMA Financial, www.ymafinancial.com. Our parent company, YMA Wealth Management Group, www.ymwealthmanagementgroup.com. And before we end, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. 3 seconds. Take time right now. Click it. Subscribe. Thank you. Do what he says. Thank you.